Hi, I'm Diane Sweeney, and I'm the author of Student-Centered Coaching. And today's vlog will address a question that was submitted from Stephanie Del Grasso in Eisenhower District 218 in the Chicago area. And Stephanie was asking about mini coaching cycles. And while we advocate for more formal coaching cycles, about 4 to 6 weeks long, driven by a goal that is aligned with the curriculum, typically a unit, and involves regular time together, co-planning and co-teaching. We also recognize that there are times when a mini cycle may make sense. And the reason for this is sometimes it's nice to give teachers a taste of student-centered coaching, to explore the practices, to feel what they feel like, to see some of the impact we can make on teaching and learning, and to do it in a way that doesn't demand a ton of time from teachers. So we do advocate for mini coaching cycles, but it's important to keep in mind that you are training off impact, because a mini coaching cycle will have a lot less impact because it's just not going to be as in-depth. But the components of a mini coaching cycle and the process for a mini coaching cycle are going to be somewhat similar, but just much more focused and targeted. So we always start a mini coaching cycle with a goal for students, but the goal will be more tight. It'll be more focused. It's almost like a learning target. So you may want to focus on having students use a particular strategy to solve problems, or to read texts, or engage in reading using a method that you're trying to, really establish and get students using throughout your class. So the learning target idea is what's going to be a way that you zero in on a goal for students that is going to take less time to address. So that's one distinguishing factor from a mini coaching cycle and a regular coaching cycle. The goal is going to be much more narrow. Then what we do is we like to get into the classroom and collect some student evidence around that goal. So if it was using a specific reading strategy, you'd want to get in the class during reading time and see what students are doing, if they're using that strategy, if they're not, if they are using it in a way maybe that's surfacing some misconceptions, or maybe using it in a way that isn't taking them to the learning you're looking for. So we like to use a note catcher that's just really kid watching. Have a grid with the students' names, have that learning target at the top, and see what they're doing as learners in the class. Then the next step in a mini coaching cycle would be then to bring that information and have a co-planning session with the teacher. Reflect on that student evidence. And it may also include some student work that you capture during that class period, and maybe just not just observational notes, but also some actual work, maybe a reader response, or a problem they solved in a math class, something like that. So then you'll look at that with the teacher. So the third step is to analyze the student evidence and kind of figure out, okay, what's our teaching going to be based on this? And so you're really getting into the formative assessment piece, and probably some differentiation, because you're going to be able to say, well, these kids need this, these kids need that, because you're going to have a nice expansive view of how the kids are doing related to that learning target. And then you're going to co-teach that lesson. So that's the next step in the process, because you co-planned it, and it's based on some shared observations and some shared analysis of student work. And then at the very end, you're going to figure out where next. What does that teacher need to keep going? What is the continued learning for these students? Is there evidence that they need more? If so, what does that more look like? This may then create the conditions for the teacher to request more coaching, because the teachers experience that coach in the classroom, co-planning, collecting that student evidence. And so that could very well lead to an extension of that mini coaching cycle. It does oftentimes. It could also transfer into a full-blown coaching cycle. It may be that the teacher and coach realize, okay, there's more here that we need to do. There's a lot more than we realized. and learning is complex. And so let's keep working together and let's do actually a bigger coaching cycle, a more formal coaching cycle. Or the third option is it may end up just being that the teacher and coach plan how the teacher's going to carry it forward, and that's it. And maybe that would be enough for that teacher at that moment. We always want to give teachers ownership and let them make these decisions. And so we never want to say you must do a mini cycle or you must do a formal cycle. It's really, we're trying to be responsive and needs-based, but having different options is an important piece of effective coaching. So while mini coaching cycles are great, I wouldn't replace all of my coaching cycles with them because you just don't see as much impact. Because again, they're shorter, they're not as deep, but they are a great tool for a coach to have in their back pocket. We're still student-centered, we're still focusing on student evidence, we're still using learning targets, we're still co-planning and co-teaching. All of those core practices are in the mix with a mini coaching cycle, so the practices aren't different. It's just that what we're doing is a lot more focused in terms of shorter time duration and also focused on the goal for kids.